So it's interesting because influencers can be a leader segment or not. So if someone is clearly paid to endorse or use a product, or they're really representing just themselves, they usually don't represent a full leader segment. But when it feels like a segment of celebrities or athletes or wealthy people use a brand, so Beats headphones is a good example. Yes, some of the athletes are paid to use Beats, but it also is a whole segment of professional athletes that love Beats, which makes people like me who wanna feel like Tom Brady before I go in to teach, wanna use Beats headphones. And so it does have to feel like a true segment. It can't just be, "Oh, Tom Brady was paid to tell me he likes these."
How does a company then deal with the scenario you also lay out where you have incompatible segments? That I would think that would be the largest challenge for them.
Yes, always better, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. That's true in marketing too. I think, yeah, in that case, you have to find ways to separate them, create that hierarchy, or potentially fire a customer segment, which can feel scary, but sometimes the best thing to do is say, we have to choose the segment we're for and the segment we're not for. A big mistake I see brands make over and over again is they find themselves in conflict. And so they try to just serve both. You saw this with Bud Light a couple years ago. You see this with Target right now, where they got themselves in a political conflict between segments, and they responded with a court sort of, well, we don't know which side we're going to pick. So then both segments said, okay, well, you're not for us, and then they're leaving in droves. Usually, you have to pick one.
But seemingly, this is a new norm than larger scale for a lot of companies as we move forward. This is not something that is kind of in this moment in time. This is kind of here. Companies are going to have to continue to work with it in order to find that growth. We're not going to go back, maybe several decades to before we saw a lot of these segments coming to the forefront.
Absolutely, and that's driven by a few things. I mean, first is, the information channels we use are more porous than ever. So you can't put something in a special interest magazine and assume no other segment will see it. If you put it on social media, it could surface in anyone's algorithm, and then it can be reposted and shared, and made into a bigger deal much more easily. We use brands and products more as identity signals than ever before, whether it's to reflect my skater identity or my, cool athlete identity or my political affiliations. So that's going to increase the risk of incompatibilities. As I said, the barriers to entry are pretty low across a lot of industries now, which means one brand's conflict could be another brand's opportunity. I see you're ignoring a segment or you've done something that's bothering one. Well, I'm going to then pick them off because I can actually serve them better and more clearly.
Thank you for listening to The Ripple Effect. We hope you found this episode informative and engaging. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review so that we can continue to bring you the best insight from the Wharton School.